Powered by Riverside FM.
Hello friends, and welcome back to the Pine Grove Briar, where the smoke curls slow and we delve into some corner of history, a mystery, or in this case, conspiracy. This episode we ask the question that might keep you up at night. What if the internet, as we know it, isn't alive anymore? What if the vibrant, chaotic, human-filled space we remember has slowly, imperceptibly become a ghost town? For years, we've navigated the web, clicking, scrolling, commenting, creating. We've watched it evolve from static pages to bustling social networks. But lately, something feels off. A subtle hum of artificiality, a sense of talking to a wall of algorithms and automated responses. This isn't just a feeling shared by a few, it's the core of a growing, unnerving online theory, the dead internet theory. So pack a bowl, pour a cup of coffee, and join us as we explore this theory, find out if it's really dead or alive. For this episode, I'm burning Burlier's blend in my briar pipe and asking myself the question: what exactly is the dead internet theory? At its heart, it posits that a significant, perhaps even a majority, of the content and interaction we see online today isn't generated by real human beings. Instead, it's bots, AI, and automated systems basically creating an illusion of activity. The theory suggests the internet, in its human-driven form, essentially died sometime around 2016 or 2017. Think about your own online experience. Have you noticed, and this is going to sound like one of those drug commercials on TV, have you noticed an abundance of strangely worded comments on social media posts? Generic, repetitive articles that seem to fill every news feed. Engagement metrics on platforms that just don't feel right, with bots inflating likes and shares. Forums and comment sections that once hummed with genuine discussion now feeling sterile or dominated by irrelevant spam. A feeling that you're increasingly talking at the internet rather than with it. Frequent or infrequent urination, incontinence, abnormal bowel movements, feeling lethargic or overwhelmed, then you might be suffering from dead internet theory disease. These aren't just isolated observations for believers in the dead internet theory. They're symptoms of a systemic shift. It's a feeling that the digital public square has been subtly replaced by a sophisticated, automated stage play designed to keep us engaged, but with no real audience. To understand this, we need to go back a bit. Early internet, for all its quirks, felt raw, human. GeoCities, early forums, even the Wild West of MySpace, they were undeniably us. But then the push came for engagement, or content at scale, for the optimization of everything. And with that came the rise of the machines. I want to say a great big thank you to the fine folks at the Gatlinburg Tobacconist, nestled right in the heart of Gatlinburg, Tennessee, in the Mountain Mall on Level D. Whether you're a seasoned pipe smoker or just curious about the good leaf, Gatlinburg's got a blend for every palate. These folks know their way around the tobacco barrel. Stop by the shop if you're in the Smokies, or check them out online to bring the next mountain air to your mailbox. The Gatlinburg Tobacconist, where the smoke's always smooth and the stories are even smoother. We've seen incredible advancements in AI, in large language models, and automation. And while these technologies promise efficiency and innovation, They also carry the potential to profoundly alter our digital landscape in ways we're only beginning to grasp. Now, let's dive into the evidence cited by proponents of the dead internet theory. It's not about tinfoil hats and shadowy figures, at least not always. It's about patterns, anomalies, and the observable changes in our online interactions. So, Exhibit A, the bot influx. We know bots exist. Spam bots, customer service bots, even sophisticated social media bots designed to mimic human interaction. But the scale, proponents argue, is far greater than publicly admitted. Consider the sheer volume of automated accounts on platforms like Twitter, Instagram. Even companies themselves struggle with bot accounts. If a significant portion of user accounts are bots, then the engagement we see is a manufactured illusion. Let's go to Exhibit B, content mills and SEO spam. Think about how much of the internet is now filled with what feels like generic, lowest common denominator content. Articles generated purely for SEO. And for those of you that don't know, SEO stands for Search Engine Optimization. Rehashed news stories with slightly different phrasing, endless lists, and clickbait headlines. Is this truly human creativity at scale, or is it algorithms churning out optimized content to capture our attention regardless of actual value? Theory suggests a vast amount of this content is either partially or fully AI generated, designed to fill the internet with noise.
Zool's Woodworks on Etsy is turning out some of the finest products and goods this side of the Mississippi. Whether you're settling down for a briar full of fine pipe tobacco, or you're looking for a gift that'll knock the socks off of anybody, you'll find it at Zool's Woodworks on Etsy.
Exhibit C, the death of the forum. Remember the vibrant niche forums of old, where passionate enthusiasts would debate, share, and collaborate? Many of these have either disappeared, become ghost towns, or are now overrun with spam and low-quality interactions. Where did all the human users go? The theory suggests either left or their genuine interactions were simply drowned out by a flood of automated noise, making meaningful human connection difficult or impossible. Exhibit D, the uncanny valley of online interaction. Have you ever received a social media comment that was almost right, but just a little off? Or an email that felt personalized but had subtle tales of automation? This is the uncanny valley of online interaction. As AI becomes more sophisticated, it can mimic human language and behavior with increasing accuracy, but it still often misses the mark, creating a subtle feeling of unease. For dead internet theorists, these glitches are proof that we're interacting with machines and not people.
If you're headed for the lake or just daydreaming about it, swing by Lee's Bait and Tackle, found in the Northtown Plaza on top of the 4-lane in Oneida, Tennessee. They do have some live bait. They do custom plastics, and they have everything you need to land the big one. And if you don't know what the fish are biting, ask Lee. He's probably already caught it. That's Lee's Bait and Tackle, where the minnows are lively and the advice is free.
Then there are the quote-unquote human users themselves. Some proponents argue that even seemingly human accounts can be sock puppets, accounts controlled by a single entity, mimicking multiple distinct individuals to create a false sense of public opinion or engagement. The lines blur, making it increasingly difficult to discern genuine human presence. The question then becomes, if the internet is so heavily populated by AI and bots, who is creating them and why? The most common answer is, of course, large corporations and power-hungry groups of people seeking to control narratives, manipulate consumer behavior, or simply optimize for advertising revenue. If the goal is clicks and engagement, does it really matter if those clicks come from a human or a bot? From a purely financial perspective, perhaps not. But from a societal perspective, the implications are chilling. So, if the dead internet theory holds water, what are the implications? Firstly, it redefines our understanding of online public discourse. If comment sections, trending topics, and even news feeds are heavily influenced by automated systems, then our perceived consensus, our collective opinions, could be entirely manufactured. It raises questions about the very nature of democracy in a digital age where public sentiment can be so easily manipulated. Secondly, it creates a profound sense of isolation. If we're increasingly interacting with machines rather than humans, then the promise of the internet as a global connector is, well, fundamentally broken. It becomes a lonely echo chamber filled with the ghosts of genuine human connection. Feeling of online fatigue, of a lack of authentic engagement might not be burnout, but a subconscious recognition of this underlying artificiality. And then there's the truly unsettling thought. If the internet is dead, and we continue to interact with it as if it were alive, what does that make us? Are we simply performing for an automated audience, feeding data into a machine that no longer requires our genuine participation? The dead internet theory isn't just about bots, it's about the erosion of trust. Trust in what we see, what we read, and who we're interacting with online. It's about a fundamental shift in our relationship with technology. From a tool we control to a system, and I hate to say this, but that system subtly controls us.
Sir, yes, sir.
Of course, the theory has its critics. They point to the vast number of active human users, the genuine communities that still exist, and the fact that AI is still far from truly mimicking the full spectrum of human creativity and nuance. They argue that what we're seeing is simply the natural evolution of a complex system with growing pains and new challenges. But even the critics can't deny the increasing presence of bots and automated content. The debate then shifts from if the internet is dead to how much of it is dead and what the long-term consequences will be.
I want to say a great big thank you to our friends at Hometown Pickleball, where friends become rivals and rivals become friends again after a few volleys. Whether you're a dinker, a smasher, or still figuring out what in the world the kitchen means, Hometown Pickleball's got your paddles, nets, and local league signups covered. It's America's fastest growing sport, and now it's got a home in your backyard. Hometown Pickleball. Bring the game, bring the laughs, and maybe a little ibuprofen.
So where does this leave us? If you find yourself nodding along, feeling that uneasy sense of recognition, what can you do? Well, be a discerning digital citizen. Question what you see. Look for authenticity, for unique voices, for genuine human connection. Don't simply consume content. Critically evaluate its source and its intent. Secondly, seek out genuine communities. There are still corners of the internet where real human interaction thrives. There's still those niche forums, small online groups, and there's direct messaging with friends. Prioritize these spaces. Thirdly, engage authentically. When you do comment or post or create, do so with genuine intent. Your authentic presence helps to combat the tide of artificiality. Fourth, step away.
What?
And this is possibly the most radical act in a potentially dead internet, is to disconnect, to engage with the real world, with real people, and to remind ourselves that life it does exist beyond the screen, beyond the internet. There is life out there.
Oh.
Dead internet theory at its most extreme is a dark vision of our digital future. But even if it's an exaggeration, it serves as a powerful warning. A warning about the insidious creep of automation, the dangers of uncritical consumption, and the preciousness of genuine human connection in an increasingly artificial world. The internet may not be entirely dead yet, but it's certainly changing. And perhaps by understanding these unsettling possibilities, we can be more intentional about how we navigate the digital landscape. and ensure that the human spark within it never truly fades. This episode, I decided not to include a mailbag segment, but if you'd like to drop us a line, we would be glad to hear from you, and you can drop us a line at pinegrovebriar@gmail.com. And if you'd like to support our podcast, I'll drop a link in the description where you can do that as well. It helps keep the lights on and our pipes lit. So we thank you for joining us again on this episode of the Pine Grove Briar. Join us next time as we delve into another mystery, historical figure, or maybe some conspiracy. Until then, keep your pipes lit, your powder dry, and your stories true.